All right. So now we have a strategic sketch of what Frame has done here. So he's not done away with tag. He's offering critiques of issues that VanTil is brought up. And again, I think not that this is a late discussion, but this is a discussion that is important. It's something that you want to respond to. There should be articles written on this, and clearly they're out there. And it's not to say that John Frame now has crumpled up the remnants of VanTil and his kind, and we should dust it off to the wind and bring back the Kalam only. But no, he says he has a suggested step-by-step approach with a somewhat typical university people in mind. It would be something like this. And he goes on to lay out this 6-point kind of approach that he believes that, especially from a presuppositional point of view, we should look at. So the first two.
All right. So why don't you go ahead on and take us through all 6 of these?
Okay. So the first one says that the universe is either ultimately personal, or ultimately impersonal. Oh, well, there's a part of the Kalam fork there. So it's either personal or it's impersonal. If it's ultimately impersonal, it cannot justify rational discourse, including whatever you may be saying to me. Okay? There is no logic, and I'm going to use logic to prove to you that there is no logic. Therefore, if you want to carry on rational discourse, you must presuppose that the universe is ultimately personal. And he goes on then to point 4 and says, only the Bible and the views derived from the Bible contain a consistently personalistic account of the world. And therefore, we should give careful consideration to the Bible and assess its truth on the assumption that a personal God may have inspired it. So again, try to reductio ad absurdum, even this, and assume for the fact what must be the case and what would follow from this. And here he says that we would probably find the best answer to a universe in which a rational discourse is possible, and that comes from a personalistic God. And then 6, pray that God's Spirit would open blind eyes to the truth. He says then that point 1 and 2 have been laid out in the discussion of absolute personalism in chapter 2, and points 3 and 4 therefore are the thrust of the transcendental arguments that he has developed in this chapter and will continue to develop in the next chapter.
All right. So that's kind of his approach there. Notice it borders on a probability argument, quite frankly, right? He says, his conclusion, therefore, we should give careful consideration to the Bible and assess its truth on the assumption that a personal God may have inspired it. Notice, may have inspired it. So it borders here on a probability argument. And apparently he has no problem.
Right?